Right, we've got, who's that on the line?
It's Rob.
Rob, and, are you a doctor?
I'm a final year medical student. I'll be a doctor in 2 months, touch wood.
That's close enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, where do you study? Do you want to give, more details, or do you want to remain anonymous as you're calling in to
I study at Barts Hospital.
Alright, great. So, why do, GPs, sometimes put, their finger up, a man's anus?
To see what's there. You know, if you've got hemorrhoids, if you've got an enlarged prostate, you know, it's either that or they stick up a big tube and have a look up with a light.
What?
And it's easier to do that.
Now, are you, dumbing this down for us, or are you going to fail your medical exams by saying stick up a big tube with a light?
I'm dumbing it down.
Okay, come on then. We're all intelligent people here, and Carl. So you tell us what's that called?
It's called a sigmoidoscope.
Right.
Nice. That was a clever test, wasn't it, Rick?
12-inch long.
Yeah.
12-inch long tube that you can put up there.
So, Carl, would you prefer that or a finger?
Well, so do they sort of do the finger first, and then, I mean, at what point do they say, hang on, we need a light here? I mean...
It's normally if there's something wrong.
But, so if I go then, say if I go to this well-known clinic, right, and they go, yeah, the art's good and that, yeah, finger, there you go, and then they go, hang on, I'm gonna go and get me light and tube. I could start worrying then because they've sort of found something.
And they're not likely to go straight in with the tube. They'll probably send you off some tests first.
But Carl, there's nothing. But you go to these places to put your mind at rest and to know where you are with your health. I mean, it's not that you go along. That's what most people worry about. They think that because I'll go along and they'll find something. Well, one, that's illogical. It doesn't heighten the fact they'll find something because you go along. And two, if they do find something, it's a good job you went along. I mean, I'm a hypocrite because I don't go to the doctor, but you know, I've had that done.
You should be concerned if, when they shine the little light in your ear, it comes out the other side of your ear. No, the other ear comes right out the other side. That's when you should be worried.
But Rob, right, you said then, if they find something, they send me off for some tests, why can't I just have the test without that and cut out the middleman? Do you know what I mean?
Because you're wasting lots of money.
There's hundreds of tests they could do, and they could do every test, and they could all come back with nothing, or they could do the finger up there, and send you for the 3 tests you need to find out what's wrong with you.
But in this day and age, with all the technology and that, and like brainy doctors and all that, the only way to find out is sticking a finger up there.
What are you worried about, Carl? Is it fundamentally that this doctor who's has done 6 years medical training, is it embarrassing to have a man's finger up your ass?
I just don't understand how you can get round to that without...
But what don't you like? Is it fundamentally you don't like anything up your ass, or is it the fact that it's a man's finger up there?
I don't like going to the doctors. It makes me nervous, because I think if anyone searches you long enough, they're going to find a fault with you, right? And especially if they're going that far into you. They're going to find something. And...
Probably not.
Well, you know, I just don't... I don't know how to get round to that sort of... that point where you get a... What do you talk to the doctor about? He's like, alright, nice day. Strap your trousers.
He goes, he says, I'm gonna just,
Most people just shut up and let you do it, and then breathe a sigh of relief when you say there's nothing there.
Yeah.
But is that at the end of the test, or is that the first thing he does?
It's the last thing.
So that trousers up out the door.
Because he knows it ends conversation. He knows it's a bit of a faux pas. The doctor says, "Oh, I better not kick off with the finger up the arse." What I do is I'll start on with the the head, and then we're down and go. Oh, one final thing, Mr. Pilkington.
So Rob,
he drops his keys and he goes, "Pick them up." And as you bend over,
will you be doing this, Rob? Is this what you're like open to do? You do all these.
I'll have to do it at some point. All doctors do it at some point, no matter what they specialise in.
So the first one, is there another doctor there to sort of make sure you're doing it right?
Not dentists.
No, but do you know...
Dentists aren't doctors anyway.
No.
But do you know what I mean? Like, normally it's like a co-pilot will have someone with them for the first one. So when you put your first finger in...
Yeah.
Will someone be there going, right, you just want to move to the left of it?
I've already done it.
Have you?
Yeah. So that's the thing with a student, you're learning. So you get people teaching you.
And you learn on...
these things.
Can I just point out, Rob, I think I'm right in assuming that, you have a glove on.
Yeah.
And there's lubrication.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt.
No.
There you go. What are you worried about, Carl?
Who's this person who everyone's testing on in your class?
It's not one person.
One person. There's like, when a patient comes in and they've got a problem, your boss, the consultant, he does his finger up, and if he finds something, he goes to the patient, is it alright if the student has a feel as well? Then the student puts on a glove, puts the leave on the glove, and sticks his finger up and sees what he comes out with.
Rob, I wish you could see Carl's face. I mean, his face when you said, and he says, can this fella have a go as well? He looked horrified. That he thought it was a free-for-all, like there's a queue of people trying on gloves and going, let's have a go. That looks good up there. What have you found?
No, but I mean, how come you had to sort of, is it not something you could test on yourself rather than waiting for other people to come in? Because then,
it's an awkward position to get to, really, isn't it?
Well, but you can have a good rummage then without feeling too awkward, but to sort of have a go on your first patient when you don't really know what you're looking for anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Never really thought about it.
Because you don't, if you've never done it before, you pop your finger in there, and you've got to sort of look, you've got to have an expression on your face like you know what you're finding.
Well, they can't see what you look, they can't see your face.
There. You got the big boss consultant there going, now move your finger there and you'll probably feel this, because he's just done it, he knows what's there.
Well, what? Oh, so he's already had a go. He's had a feel, and he's going right. If you feel to the right, that's the conglomeracy or whatever.
The conglomeracy, yeah. Its conglomeracy is in perfect working order.
Well, that's. I'm still.
Thank you, Rod. Thank you. I'm sorry you had to go through this. Carl is probably the worst patient you'll ever encounter in your medical career. Good luck with your finals, and thanks very much.
And do you know any female doctors who do this? Or?
Thank you. XFM 104.9. Thank you.
Josh Rags, it's the night time on XFM 104.9. Steve Merchant, Ricky Gervais, Karl Pilkington, and is it time?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news.
Right then. So there's this monkey, right? In Canada. It's in a zoo in Toronto, I think it is. His name's Pascal, right? And what happened was all the people in the zoo sort of said, what can we do? Sort of spice the day up a bit, right?
Yeah.
So they left.
Embellishing. No way this is a news story.
Let him do the news.
Okay.
So they left.
Any dates?
Just let him read the news.
Well,
He wouldn't interrupt Moira Stewart.
It was about 2 weeks ago.
No, because she always says today, so you know it's news. She doesn't say, right, there was a monkey, right?
Well,
in Canada,
on,
right?
Just finish the be all night.
A couple of weeks ago, in this zoo in Canada.
Right.
Jesus. They got a camcorder.
Right.
And they said, let's leave it for the monkey to have a play with, right? So, anyway, they passed it around.
Won a BAFTA.
And a couple of chimps and that were rubbish at it. They were like filming the floor and all that, and the fingers were always in shot and stuff like that, right? But anyway, there was this one chimp called Pascal, right? Who,
annoys me that he calls them monkeys, though. They're not monkeys, they're apes.
He was a dab hand at it, right? He was like, filming stuff, really good shots, sort of nice mood and that. He used the lighting properly and all the rest of it.
No, he didn't!
This is the news. What are you talking about? This is the news.
Steve,
anyway.
it's so annoying. You know it annoys me so much. Things like that. He was a dab hand, he was doing really good shots. It really annoys me.
Let's hear the news.
Anyway, right, so he started, at night, like when the zookeepers went home, he started filming, like, other monkeys on the go, like, whilst they were at it, right? And he was filming them and what have you.
The Ron Jeremy of the zoo.
You know it's going to end up on the web.
So anyway, the zookeepers came in the next day and it's like, let's see what shots he's got. Anyway, he's got all this, like, all these monkeys at it and what have you. So,
this is, honestly, you don't know what this is doing to me, Steve. Can I stop him now?
So they thought, like, actually there's a few monkeys who aren't at it enough. Do you know what I mean? They have problems and what have you, so let's give them the videos.
That is so untrue! This is so untrue! It's so untrue that it was filmed by a monkey!
So
it's so untrue!
Rick, I don't know who to believe.
Oh, God! You're talking so much shit again! You must know that's not true. There's no way.
There's a load of tapes out.
Look at me! Look at me! Don't keep talking, look at me! You must know that's not true.
Can we just hear the end of this news?
You had a go at me last week because I didn't have the full story. I've got the full story, you're still not happy.
There is no way that, by chance, what should we do? Let's give him a camcorder. That could happen. He then films him at it. That might happen. It might happen, but I don't think he'd keep the camera still. Two, they go, hold on, this is good still. This is good shit. This porn's good shit.
Anyway,
look at that. He's got a lovely shot. Yeah. So this is ridiculous.
Let me just recap, because I lost my way there. So the monkey has filmed the monkey porn, and now they're showing it to the other monkeys.
Is he directing? Can you hear him saying stuff? Can you hear him go...
It's just like, you know, Chimp Pimp 1, 2 and 3 and all the rest of it, right? But anyway, so they've got all these other tapes, because what happened was, they said he's quite good at this. And the animals are happy having him around because he's not a human, he's just one of the gang, do you know what I mean? So they started putting him in with other things like, you know, ostriches.
Right.
And
shit.
There was also, and you know they have a problem with pandas in Japan.
Yeah.
So they've sent him out there, filming a bit of. Where are you going?
Honestly, you really annoy me. There's no way this is happening.
Can we just hear the end?
Why can't he just find a real story about a monkey?
Let's hear the end.
The end is really that he's going to China. He's filming the pandas and whatever.
No, he's not. They wouldn't send a monkey director. They would not send a monkey director. Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen, possibly the greatest rock song of all time. I don't know. Big words.
Big words indeed, but I echo them.
Well, we're running out of time. We've got to get on with the show. It's near the end. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope the scientists stuck in a big, I don't know, hut in the middle of nowhere in pitch darkness, 10 of them.
I imagine they've been fascinated, Rick, by the finger up the arse discussion. We had
Chinese don't age well, gingers, all that.
The big fat kid.
Well, actually, they're probably securing the knowledge that if they want to kill some time and it's dark, there's nothing better than stick your finger up someone else's arse.
Exactly.
So enjoy that.
Hang on a minute, I want, there's more interesting territory here.
Don't forget, our sleep patterns have evolved on a day. The reason we sort of like go to sleep at night and have about 8 to 10 hours sleep is because that's our evolution.
No, but that's only, that's just because that's what we've got used to, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look at a sloth, that's asleep all the time. It's doing what it wants.
But it evolved differently, didn't it?
Right, you can't get away. You're not getting away with this anymore. If you want to live now, join in with us.
We do, of course, Rick, every week get thousands of emails. I mean, it's Freddie from Winchester says, of course, it was recently Valentine's Day. What's the most romantic thing that you've done for Suzanne, Carl, that you can think of?
I don't really do all that.
Sure.
Valentine's Day stuff.
It's just, the problem is, if you do it once, they expect it every year.
Yeah.
Sure. That's the problem with Christmas and stuff, innit? It's like, it's become, that's what you do now, every year.
Every day, yeah.
So I prefer to just sort of wait, you know what I mean? And you know, if I think of an idea or I know of something that she wants, I might get her something, but I might not do it on Valentine's Day. It's that thing. It's like how I've said about Pancake Tuesday. Make it Pancake Wednesday. Have it when you want. Why am I waiting? Why am I waiting for someone to tell me when I can have a pancake? I'll have it today if I want one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas Pancake Tuesday, no, I won't bother. I'll have trifle. So it's the same with this, you know, with Suzanne. Luckily, right? I mean, Valentine's Day and what have you. She was ill.
Luckily.
So we didn't have to go out. So I'd say, is he asking for advice?
Well, I suppose, yeah, certainly you may as well give it.
Treat them when they deserve it.
All right.
I remember once when Suzanne was ill, she had a fever, but there was no food in the house. What did you suggest to her? She was too ill.
Well, it was when we were still living in Manchester and that, and you know, we needed to get some food in for tea and stuff. And I said, come to the supermarket. She was like, no, I'm ill, you go. And I hate buying food. I just sort of get a bit blank when I'm looking at it. There's too much, isn't there? That's the problem. You go down all these aisles and there's just too much. So anyway, I said, no, come with me. She was like, oh, but I've got this fever, I'm hot and everything. So I said, well, come to the supermarket, you go on the frozen aisle, cool yourself down. And she did, and she said, you know, it made it worse, she was ill for another 3 days.
How would you go about chatting up a woman in a bar? What tips could you give?
I've never worked like that. It's always been like a friend of a friend and all that, and just happened to meet them. And then, you know, you have a chat, and then...
How did you meet Suzanne?
That was when I was working with her, and she gave me 20p for the hot chocolate machine. She never asked for it back. Thought she's all right. Been there sort of 11 years, so it works.
Has she ever given you that? You've never given that 20p
Never
back?
asked for it back.
And did you return the favour, perhaps on the next date? You buy her a Kit Kat or something?
No, I don't think I did. I think word got out that she liked me and that. And what did I do? I think I did some work for her, did some editing for her, sort of show off my skills and that.
Sure.
And she was like, "Oh, you're good at this, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." And I think she got us another drink because I was doing that editing for her in my own time.
So you're up on the deal, aren't you? Because I know now, I know for a fact, you've not spent any money on her in 11 years, so you're 40p up.
At least. Lawrence from New York says, I was wondering how Mr. K. Pilkington would interpret this famous saying of philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein. The quote is, if a lion could talk, we could not understand him.
Even if he's English.
Yeah, if a lion could speak English, so there's no language barrier, he's speaking English words and using all the correct grammar and everything, but you wouldn't be able to understand what he was saying.
Why?
Because it is from a different world. His frames of reference would be so bizarre that you wouldn't be able to get a grasp on what he was talking about, because you'd have so little in common, even if he used real words.
No, but he's talking English.
Yeah, no, but his reference points would be just so far removed. You know, they're removed slightly when, if you saw two people talking about Kierkegaard, you'd
I wouldn't understand it.
Exactly. So remove that a billion times to a different species with different input.
No, but it depends. If I'm talking to a lion in London Zoo,
Yeah.
he'll be saying, "Oh, I'm fed up of being stuck in here." I'll go, "Yeah." It's like that. It depends what his background is. I mean, there's some people who might have lived down the road from me, but have a totally different life.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter that it's a lion, does it?
Well, yeah, because they're just trying to remove it even more. So now it's not just a bloke who lived a few doors away. Now it's not even a bloke. Now it's not even...
Yeah, but I'd pick something smaller, or something, a worm without a mouth. I'd go, definitely not.
What? Definitely not what?
I wouldn't be having a chat with it. I just think that a worm that's on the ground, what's it got to offer me? It's blind and it hasn't got a mouth. It's not going to be a good day out with it, is what I'm saying. It's not going to have that much to say to me, even if it's English. Right?
Even if it's
And how can you tell if a worm is English? Does it wear a very tiny bowler hat?
Oh, Christ.
But do you understand?
What about a jellyfish?
No, you see, I think that's where you can say you wouldn't be able to have a good chat with them, because to me, the sea might as well be another world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In a way, I think the fish sort of have more rights than us.
What do you mean?
Just because when whoever made the world, right? Say, we're just bigging up God, but if I was to have a go at him, I'd say you added too much water.
Criticism 1 to God, right?
So,
How would you have changed that? Just
more land.
Fair enough. Now, why have fish got more rights than us? That was what I was interested in.
Because there's loads of them, and when you look at the amount of sea on the world, right? There's loads of that. You only have to like I was in Malaga the other week, right? And you look in the sea, there's loads of different fish, and that's just in 8-foot water. If you go miles out, there's all sorts of weird fish, isn't there, with lights on them and everything. So, and there's just millions of different types.
yeah.
Now,
But why does that mean they've got more rights than us?
just because I think, rights come in numbers, don't they? If you know what I mean. Like, if there's one of you shouting, people go, "Oh, he's an idiot, shut up," whatever. If there's loads of you shouting, they go, "Oh, best listen to him, see what they've got to say."
Right.
And that's what I mean about fish.
Yeah.
There's loads of fish,
Right.
so
But they're not really making their voices heard, though, are they, Carl?
Yeah.
I know, because they're underwater. But what I mean is, I don't know what I mean.
Carl, right? What do you think it's like being a crab? If you could go now, your mind into a crab, what would you see? Where would you be? What would you be doing? What would you be thinking? What would you think of all the other things? The crabs you'd see, the squids you'd see. What's it like? Do you think? I want you to. It's like creative writing. Just think. Just let yourself go. Come on.
It's got to be a crab.
What do you think of a slug? What do you think to be a slug? What would you do if you were transported now into a slug? What would you do? and Suzanne, you're suddenly in the kitchen, but you're a slug, and Suzanne's sort of like there, just making tea and that. How do you let her know it's you?
It's impossible. I'd just chuck myself into the salt pot or something. No, because what do you do? I'd hate that. That would be horrible, that.
Oh, God.
Have you ever read Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis? In which a man wakes up and he's turned into a giant beetle? And that's the whole story. I think it might be of interest to you.
So what happened to him with the beetle?
Well, I don't want to ruin it for you in case you read it.
I won't be reading it, don't worry.
He joined a pop group with 3 other people. He was brilliant.
No, it's a really wonderful book. It's a kind of almost heartbreaking because, of course, he does, like Ricky's saying, he finds it very hard then to relate to other people, even though he still has the consciousness of a human. You know, his parents, the rest of his family, they don't know how to deal with him, you know, because he's a giant beetle. He becomes a freak, he becomes an outsider. It's terrible, you know.
But hang on, though. Is he a giant beetle? Or is he... Well, yeah, that's not going to go down well, is it? That, of course, people aren't going to like you. But if it's a normal-sized one, then you just get in with the other beetles, don't you? Whereas if you're a giant...
How would you do that? How would you ingratiate yourself? Right, so you're suddenly a beetle, you're Karl Pilkington, right? There's other people, they're doing their business, they're scuttling around, and you go in there, and they look at you as a new beetle. What's your first... What do you do? How do you ingratiate yourself?
Well, for a bit, I wouldn't sort of barge into their house and that. I'd wait until they're out and about, and I'd like in life, right? Sort of help them out. I don't know what beetles do all day. I've never seen one doing anything. They just seem to be going from one place to another.
Right.
I've never seen them carrying anything. I don't know what they eat. I don't know what they do. I don't know how we got them, right? But what I mean is, I'd watch them and I'd sort of help them out. And, I mean, you know, it's like going on a date or meeting a woman, isn't it?
But what if there is...
Whoa, hang on, what do you mean? How is it like going on a date with a woman?
Well, it's like I said about Suzanne with her hot chocolate. She bought me that and I've gone, she's all right. Right? She gets me another one. Before I know it, she's living with me. So,
So you're these beetles, they're scrubbing around, right? You're sort of like watching them, and then you realise that you want to mate with this female beetle. What do you do? What's your first move?
Yeah, but I don't know what beetles do I? So I don't know what you do. I don't know if you go up and go, all right. What do they do? How do they get on?
Well,
it's a different world. I don't know yet, do I? Because I haven't done it.
Would you feel bad, because having your own mind in this beetle, right? Would you feel bad shagging a beetle? Would you feel that was a bit sick because you've got a human mind?
Well, no, because you just close your eyes and that, wouldn't you? Think of something else. So, get round it that way. There's no point getting down about it because I'm stuck now as a beetle. So you've got to get on with it.
But if you're a slug, you said you'd throw yourself in the salt pot. What would you do if you were a beetle if you got depressed? And you see all the other humans. No, you see your mates, right? They're listening to the iPod. What would you do?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. No, beetles are different because they do tend to hang about with each other. A slug's always on its own. It's a lonely insect, isn't it?
It's not an insect.
All right, what is it?
A mollusk.
Right, they're lonely. I've never seen a load of snails all together or slugs wandering about. Whereas beetles seem to knock about in crowds.
Yeah.
So, oh God, okay, right, another one.
So they're sociable creatures, and it wouldn't bother you that you've got the mind of Karl Pilkington in there? Because you can't communicate with these people, because they don't speak English, they don't have any communication with you.
Yeah, but if it's happened to me, there'll be another one in there.
Okay, then.
Yeah, Darkness. I believe in a thing called love on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, you're Steve Merchant-Shaw. That's little Karl Pilkington over there. Where is he? There he is.
There he is, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey! Back together again.
The old gang.
Yeah, it started last week.
Yeah,
I think.
Triumphant return.
I think it went well last week, didn't it, Karl? Good show, wasn't it?
You loved it, didn't you, Karl?
Brilliant, right?
Yeah?
Yeah. Now, you weren't speaking to Suzanne last week at this time because you said she had a haircut, probably quite an expensive haircut. She's a lady in media. She's got to look good. She probably doesn't go to the barber like you or just shave it at home. Probably spent quite a little bit of money on it. She came home. She thought, well, my sweetheart, my lover, my sweetheart, you know what I mean? The man in my life is gonna love this.
Well, he adores everything about me. He's gonna love my hair.
She walked in. Hello, Karl. All right. You look like Dave Hill from Slade. Is what you said to the poor woman. And then talked about it on air. She was furious about that. So what did you do?
Karl?
She did listen, yeah. She wasn't happy.
Did you hear you slagging her hair off?
Yeah. Well, what
so this is probably annoying her now.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. We can do a lot today because she's at work.
So, and of course, no one's going to tell her.
Let's have a chat about a fat arse, shall we? Let's get it all done.
Oh, dear. Oh dear.
You are in so much trouble. That's. Look, he's realised he is a little bit worried. Oh, didn't you go and buy her a coat or something?
Took her out on Sunday and treated her to a new coat and that.
Yeah.
But I offered, I said as
baseball
well,
cap.
I said I'd pay to have it done again.
Oh no! Carl, you have. Oh God! Oh my Christ!
So she listened to the show. What did she say? You got home. She'd heard you slagging her hair off.
Imagine that. He thinks that's a good thing. Sort of like, we've won the pools. Brilliant. What are we doing? Well, you can have facial surgery now, love. It's sort of like, it's just, Christ. You offered to have it done again. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
I got home and she's like all being moody with me, right?
yeah.
You thought something's wrong, so you must have listened to the show when I was slagging off her hair.
Well, his first thought was she's probably looked at herself in the mirror. She agrees with me.
Yeah, that barber's been round again.
Yeah.
And she just said, "Oh, that wasn't very nice of you, was it?"
Oh.
So I just said, "Hang on a minute." I said, "That's what we do on the show. When I'm slagging off, you know, Chinese people looking old or whatever." I said, "You never interfere."
Sure.
I love the fact.
She's got to get her priorities right.
I love the fact that she's in the same queue as a billion people you've never met.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. She's in the same queue. Well, you didn't complain
Well,
when I
no,
was
because
slagging off.
Carl, I don't think Carl has ever admitted he might be in the wrong. Ever. Certainly not to you or I. So did
That
you admit...
is so true.
Isn't it?
That is so true.
He's never admitted that he might be in the wrong. So did you, in this instance, agree that maybe you'd overstepped the mark?
No, I just said she took it badly. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's only a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
See, you haven't seen it, so you can't start interfering on this one.
No, okay.
No, I haven't seen it, but I very much doubt she looks like Dave Hill from Slade, who, if I'm, unless I'm mistaken, used to cut his hair with garden shears blindfolded.
Well.
So, you know what I mean? And did her teeth stick out and she started speaking with a Brummie accent as well?
I've got used to it now anyway. So,
And so did you bought... So at some point you came crawling back and you said, do you want me to buy you a coat?
I just said, let's leave that, let's go out and have a good weekend.
Sure.
But get your hat before we go. And, treated her to a new coat and that. It's a nice coat, so people will look at that rather than
The hair.
looking at the head.
So if
What does it do? Flash? It's got obscenities across the back.
If anyone who knows Carl's girlfriend is listening...
Tell her.
And maybe you're a work colleague and you're listening to the show...
Because
on
I think
Warm or
this is
something,
terrible.
Get her to phone him now.
Get her to phone him now. I mean,
Get her
forget
to phone
the
on the
hair.
XFM number.
What's the fat ass complaint line? Because you are in deep shite. Cemetery Gates by the Smiths, of course, off the Queen is Dead album. Lovely tune. Makes you happy, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It's a nice song about dead people.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I just wondering, Rick, what your opinions are, what your thoughts
Go
are on Britney Spears.
Liked a couple. Bit bored. I think she's panicking a little bit. I think she's a little bit desperate with all this Madonna stuff.
Yeah, all the kind of lesbian
Yeah,
things.
I don't know. Yeah, she's alright. I've got nothing against the girl.
Well, I think it was in Hot Tickets magazine.
Sure.
It's free with the Evening Standard.
Yeah.
I might get some free Evening Standards now. I've plugged that.
Yeah.
I just reading in there that, I don't know if it's still going to happen, but apparently she was going to do a little cheeky appearance at GAY.
G-A-Y.
In London. And, obviously I was quite excited because I'm a Spears fan.
Do you know what that spells, don't you?
GAY.
Yeah.
Gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it is a gay club.
Oh, sure,
This is what I was ascertaining from the article.
Oh, because they've called it what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And apparently she was gonna be previewing some of her new album live on stage at GA1. And that's an intimate venue. Normally you'd have to see someone like Spears, probably at Wembley Arena, something like that. I'm thinking I'm a Spears fan. You know, get up a couple of the gang together.
Yeah.
You know.
So the lads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cruise down there.
Yeah.
But then I read on in the article that apparently the doorman at GAY were only going to let in regulars. And the way they were going to ascertain if you were a regular was by asking a series of questions at the door.
What, testing if you're really...
Now, I don't know if the questions would be about the interior of GAY.
Or the interior of someone else.
Yeah. Or just general kind of...
Like, what do you reckon you'd have passed the pretend...
Well, that's what I was wondering.
So you'd have had to pretend to be...
GAY.
GAY to get in to see Spears. Now
Can you say gay on the radio?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But
now, there's irony, isn't it? So you're pretending to be gay to get into a club to see A bird that you like?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll give you a little quick test.
Right.
Shall I? Alright. Alright, sorry, what's your name, mate?
Paolo.
Alright, Paolo.
Yeah.
You haven't done a lot with your hair, you just sort of let it grow out. I mean, would you be putting product on a bit later? Because, I mean, you don't look very, sort of like, you look sort of quite...
Quite masculine, quite...
Yeah, well, sort of like you didn't care, like you have no care about how you look, like you're a...
normally it would be shaved. Of course.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We would say normally that looks about, like, 3 months growth there. Why haven't you...
I've been ill.
Nothing serious?
Nothing serious.
Okay.
No, that's why I let it grow. So it's grown.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what time would you normally be going out then, Paolo?
Normally I'd go out about sort of, I'd go out about 8-ish.
8 o'clock in the evening you've got?
No.
Because that sounds a bit early, that's what...
No, I'd go out about 3 in the morning normally.
Right, so I was like, yeah, okay, right, so that's right, yeah. Where'd you go, down sort of...
Down
Oh,
GAY,
Compton Street for a coffee and then onto
Yeah.
GAY
Something like
with
that,
your little shaved
head.
Okay, well, you're doing
Sounding
fine.
pretty gay.
Sounding pretty. Can I just ask you one final question?
20 bender points?
20 bender points. So I'm just going to let you in.
Okay,
I'm just going to tell the guys to let you in. But I've got one more question.
Yeah.
Do you prefer knobs or tits, Paolo?
Knobs.
Knobs. You love knobs, do you?
Okay,
Can't get enough knobs. So you hate tits, I assume.
Loads of them.
You hate tits, do you?
Yes.
Okay. What? Even Liza Minnelli's?
I don't know what to say. I love hers.
But not in a straight way.
Straight way. In a gay
So
way.
okay. So you love knobs more than tits, right? Okay.
I love knobs.
In you go.
Thanks very much.
You know Brittany's on, do you?
Oh, she is so sexy.
Oh.
See, that's what would give me away. It'd be like the Great Escape.
It's just the last.
Yeah.
You just. Well, I mean, I think you're probably a bit bi.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
but I mean, go in anyway.
Thanks very much.
Okay, the drinks are quite expensive.
Oh, I thought so.
Pop your shirt off, will you?